Federal agent fires shots at man during operation in San Bernardino, DHS says. There's a video of the whole news report that I want to watch in a second. Just give this a listen. A federal agent fired shots during a targeted immigration enforcement operation in San Bernardino on Saturday morning, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Why are they firing shots at literally anybody? I have to ask. Are these people really such a danger to the community that you are willing to put the community in an even greater guaranteed danger rather than the possible, ethereal danger that maybe these people could potentially put people in? You're literally unloading a gun in a public area, and you're saying they're the danger. Eyewitness News spoke with one of the men who was inside the vehicle that was shot at. Martin says he was working with his father-in-law and 18-year-old son-in-law on Saturday morning when their vehicle was suddenly surrounded by unmarked cars and masked men. Quote, they hopped out with their pistols already drawn. Why do they have pistols? At best, they should have stun guns. They then proceeded to ask us to lower the window and open the doors, Martin said. Martin stressed that they asked, but the masked agents did not identify themselves. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't believe that you have any obligation to comply with commands given from somebody who does not identify themselves as an officer of the law. I don't take that as legal advice. I'm not sure that's accurate. But, how do I know this isn't like a kidnapper, in all seriousness? Mm-hmm. Martin and his family stayed in the locked car as agents insisted they come out. Video shows moments later the agents shattered 2 windows. All right, let's give this a watch.
Hey, you can't do that!
They're literally shooting at these people in this car.
Now at 11, 2 different accounts are emerging tonight of a traffic stop by...
And what's with this stupid music, dude? Please, get rid of this stupid music.
Tonight of a traffic stop by federal law enforcement. A father and son say they were scared for their lives, while officers say they were forced to fire on the family's truck in self-defense.
In self-defense! They were inside of a truck! What are you talking about?
They were inside of a truck, and you were driving in an unmarked vehicle. They didn't know if it was ICE or not.
And they were trying to get away from this situation.
Right.
This isn't self-defense in any way.
This is a story that has significantly involved in the last few hours. I'm Kathy Vara.
And I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. NBC4's Amber Frias spoke with the family. She joins us live now from San Bernardino. Amber.
Hey, Jonathan, Kathy, I interviewed the family this afternoon following the incident. They were frustrated and angry over what happened. They told me they were on their way home from work when masked federal agents approached them and tried to stop them. Now, we do have...
Well, let me correct that. It wasn't masked federal agents. It was masked people. You have no idea if they're federal agents. You have no way to know that because they're not telling you that.
Video taken by the people inside the truck during the incident, and it captures everything that unfolded. Take a look.
What do you want? Identification.
From inside this truck, passengers recorded this cell phone video of their tense encounter with immigration officers in San Bernardino this morning. The family says they were surrounded by unmarked cars near Acacia Avenue and Baseline Street.
No, la voy a abrir.
Masked Customs and Border Protection officers surrounded their truck. One of them is seen wearing a CBP hat.
Hey, you can't do that!
One of the agents shatters the driver's side glass. Then the passenger side window is shattered. Here's a different angle.
No, la voy a abrir. Hey, you can't do that!
Here is that same video. We slowed it down to show you the moment the agent's arm reaches through the broken window. Seconds later, the driver hits the gas. As the truck drives off, you hear what sounds like 3 loud pops.
Yeah, self-defense, totally.
Which now the Department of Homeland Security confirms was gunfire. Hours later, the driver, Francisco, spoke surrounded by community members. In Spanish, he says, I had to protect my life and my family. His truck, he says, was shot 3 times. Francisco says he drove home and called San Bernardino police. Officers responded, but say they left after determining they had no information on what Francisco was wanted for.
That is insane. That is insane. What? I'm telling you guys, There was a period of time when it was time to start hiding people in Germany, and that time has come. I'm 100% real. That time has come.
This isn't an isolated incident either, and it's not just like immigrants who, like, illegal immigrants. It's not just illegal immigrants. It is happening with people who actively have their green cards, who are here legally, who are married to citizens, all of that. This happened to this guy. First of all, he was trying to drop his kid off at daycare. He recently got married to a U.S. citizen, his wife, and he was in the process of, or had just finished getting his green card. He had a visa. He was on a student visa and then later a work visa, and it was not an overstayed visa. And ICE shattered his windshield.
Hello, sir.
How we doing today?
Good, thank you so much.
You mind if I grab your ID from you? Go ahead and roll your window all the way down.
Why? What's going on?
Go ahead and roll your window all the way down.
The baby in the car.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just roll your window all the way down.
Happy party.
Go ahead and roll your window down. You're on the window. Roll it down. Roll your window all the way down for me, please.
Yeah.
Do you have your ID on you? Please.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Can I see your ID?
Yeah, that's 40.
Where are you heading?
Daycare.
His kid, his like baby daughter, is saying police, police, and he's trying to sound happy.
Jesus.
And
dude.
you'll see later on, he was very clearly like terrified in this situation. He's trying to keep calm for his kid.
This is just 2 examples of this psychotic happening.
Daycare.
Okay.
Where's daycare?
It's none of their business. None of this is any of their business.
Just to be with him.
How far?
5 minutes. So, there's a...
So in that jump cut, they let him drive to the daycare, but they were following him.
So that they can rough him up after he drops off the kid.
Yeah.
baby in the car. And is it hard to wait for 3 minutes?
Hey, is your phone down?
Yeah.
She said to put the car.
Yeah, put the car here. What would you... Yeah.
Put the car over there.
Put the car over there. Yeah. Mommy's coming now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you say mommy's coming?
Yep. He had to
Okay,
call
good.
the wife.
Jesus.
You know? Okay.
Hell, hold on. I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
Well, you should have
Hold
done it
on.
already. I told you 3 times. Unbuckle your seatbelt.
Yeah,
Step out
but
of the
you
car.
still understand.
Step out of the car.
Okay.
Because I'm Iranian.
Yes,
I'm Iranian,
I
that's
understand.
why they are doing this. I'm a doctor. I'm an Iranian.
This is not okay.
And it's not legal either. What they are doing is against the law, against the Constitution, but they don't care. It doesn't matter to them.
And no one here will identify themselves to me. They came into, you are not okay. This is not okay, and no one will identify themselves. No one here will identify.
You know, one of the most disturbing parts about the fact that they shot at this guy's car is that you can't just unload your weapon like that. Like, pulling out your gun and firing is this whole procedure that you have to go through. Even in the military, they have little cards that they carry in their pockets that they pull out if it's, you know, the type of situation where you should be shooting, to tell you if it's okay to shoot. Like, are there civilians around, and are there armed combatants, and what area, and so on and so forth. You can't just unload on people. That is a war crime in wars. By killing or attacking or whatever, or terrorizing the local civilian population. That's a war crime. And what we have here is ICE unloading their weapons on random people. If you didn't believe me before when I said this, I hope you believe me now. It's time to hide people. Really. It's time to hide people.
It's not one isolated incident of oh, ICE just, like, these people were running, and so they had to break the windows and whatever. That dad was sitting in the car at the daycare waiting for his wife to come and get their daughter so that their daughter wouldn't be traumatized. And he said, give me 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. And they broke his windshield. He was sitting there. He didn't have his hand on any weapons. He was holding his phone. He was recording. And they destroyed his window. Didn't care at all. Knew that he was recording. They could see it. They knew what they were doing.
Cruelty is the point.
Yeah.
Right? And you know why they're wearing those stupid face coverings, those masks? Because they know that when Democrats inevitably take control of the government again, which will happen, mark my words, it'll happen sooner rather than later. Trump is like 80. When Hitler took control, he was like 35, 40, 45 years old. Trump is 80 or something. Democrats will take control, and when that happens, these people are all going to spend the rest of their lives in the prisons that they built.
It's the same reason they won't identify themselves whenever anyone asks. These people asked, that wife asked, no one is identifying themselves for that reason.
Well, lucky for us, people keep records of things. You know, in Germany, when the Allies took control of everything, Nazis tried to hide. Again, just like we're seeing here, the Nazis trying to hide. But luckily, the Gestapo kept meticulous records. They had a big record room full of 12.5 or so million little called denouncement cards. And anytime anybody was denounced by somebody, they call the police and they say, I'm denouncing my teacher for assigning too much homework. 100% real. They would write that down. They'd write the teacher's name down. They'd write down who denounced her. They'd write down the reason. Gestapo would go and investigate every single one. Every single one. Most of the time, if it was too much homework, they'd ask the other kids in the class what's going on. Has the teacher ever said anything subversive about the Nazi government? They'd say, whatever, and they'd go home, and that would be the end of it. But we got our hands on 12 million records. Denouncement records. Everybody, whoever supported the Nazi movement in any way, shape, or form, and to what degree they supported it. The U.S. government keeps meticulous records, hiring records, everything. We'll find it. We'll find it, and these people will spend the rest of their lives in prison. Pam Bondi is going to spend the rest of her life in prison after Democrats take control again. Elon Musk, he's not getting away. I just about guarantee, if history is any indication for what comes next, these people are going to rot in prison. So take that as some consolation. Let's finish this video about these ICE agents unloading their guns on some random people.
Was wanted for. Francisco's son-in-law, who was also in the truck, says the family is shaken.
It's just upsetting that it happened at us. I'm glad brother was okay, Papa was okay. I'm just glad we're okay.
And as far as I can tell, these are American citizens. I have no reason to think the other dude wasn't an American citizen.
But it's not cool that ICE is able to do something like that.
A DHS spokesperson says Francisco hit 2 CBP officers with his truck when he drove off.
Okay, we literally saw out the front window, didn't we?
And they say officers were forced to fire in self-defense. Later, federal agents showed up to Francisco's home to arrest him, but clashed with community members outside. San Bernardino police returned, arresting at least one person from the crowd for assaulting a federal officer. Francisco and his family were not detained, but they say the encounter has left lasting scars.
They weren't detained. How about that? There was no reason to get him in the first place. They had no reason to be there. Had no reason to pull the dude over. Nothing. They came here to intimidate him the second time around. What did they want with him? They had his name, they had all of his information, or they wouldn't have known where he lived. They have the databases, they can look up his license, his birth certificate, his whatever. What did they want? They wanted to intimidate him. They wanted to scare him. They wanted to rough people up. Cruelty is the point. The Trump administration recently, I don't know if they actually succeeded in doing this. I think it might have shot down. I'm sorry. I think it might have been shot down by the Supreme Court. But the Trump administration started deporting people from Venezuela, or wherever, you know, whatever non-white countries that they're deporting, like people who, like the people are from those countries, they're deporting them to Libya, which is in the middle of a civil war. They've never been to Libya. They probably couldn't even point out Libya on a map. Why would they drop them in Libya? They're from Venezuela. They're not even the same continent. Cruelty is the point. There is no civilian infrastructure. There is no refugee infrastructure to be found in Libya. They want these people to suffer and die in the middle of a war zone. That's why they're dropping them there. Men, women, and children. It is evil. These people are evil. And if I have anything to say about it, they are going to spend the rest of their lives in prison for this.
They're doing this to senior citizens too. People who are legally here, who require the health care that they're getting here, who, if they were dropped in whatever country they're originally from, they wouldn't understand anything that's going on. They're taking away life-saving materials and dropping them in the middle of nowhere.
Doge was responsible for ending U.S. aid, even though it's a congressional program that has congressional oversight, and Congress has the power of the purse, and they are the ones that determine what's funded and what isn't. The kid that, you know, the Big Balls kid or whatever that, like, got beat up in D.C. not too long ago is one of the world's single most mass murderers, in my opinion, for how many people died as a result of U.S. aid being shut down at his hands. These are evil human beings. They are evil, soulless people. And it's time that we fight back against Nazis. Metaphorically, not saying I believe in political violence. I certainly don't. I'm saying metaphorically fight back. Politically fight back against these people. This has another, like, 30 seconds.
It's just frustrating. I'm not even, I don't feel anxiety or nothing. I don't feel amped up. It's not cool.
He should, I mean, it would make complete sense if he felt amped up or anxiety over this, because that's wild. Literally unloaded a weapon into their car. He was this close to dying.
We also asked DHS what Francisco was initially stopped for, but they did not comment, only saying it was part of an enforcement operation. We also asked about the condition of those officers injured, but they have not returned that request. Reporting live from San Bernardino, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
Okay, now, I appreciate that they're reporting on this in the first place. That's good. But I got to tell you, this both sides thing, I'm really sick of it. One side is full of Nazis and the other is not, and that's pretty much all I need to know at this point in time. Like I said, we're at the hide people stage, okay? I don't give a shit if these agents were wounded while trying to literally unload a weapon into somebody's car. I could not possibly care less about their lives, honestly. I used to have very different political opinions, but watching fascism unfold in front of me is making me reevaluate a lot of that. I don't want to see anybody die, even the most evil people, but I'll be damned if they're not pressing that principle to its limit. Yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comments.